Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Would you like to live with greater safety, security, and financial independence? For more than 20 years, Ted Butler with Mutual of Omaha Reverse Mortgage has been teaching homeowners and training financial professionals about the modern reverse mortgage. Did you know that with the modern reverse mortgage, you can receive monthly tax-free payments while living in your home until age 150? Get the information you need from a name you know and trust. Mutual of Omaha has been serving our community for over 110 years. And who doesn't remember the iconic television show, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom? The first 10 callers will receive a special 1-hour personal consultation with leading reverse mortgage expert Ted Butler. That's right, your own personal one-on-one with one of the country's top reverse mortgage experts. Call 877-TED, the number 4, reverse today. That's 877-833-4739. Or 877-TED, the number 4, reverse, to schedule your personal one-on-one coaching session. Call Ted now at 877-TED, the number 4, reverse. That's 877-833-4739.
Ted Butler, NMLS 71436, Mutual of Omaha Mortgage, NMLS 1025894, Equal Housing Lender, subject to credit approval.
Hi there and welcome. I'm Ted Butler, the voice of Reverse Mortgage, your host today for Reverse Mortgage Radio, brought to us by the fine folks at Mutual of Omaha Reverse Mortgage. So why don't you freshen up that coffee or get some more hot water for your tea? And also, why don't you grab a pad and pencil if you would? You're definitely going to want to make some notes for today's show. And the first note, please write down our phone number, 951-363-0153. Again, you can reach us at 951-363-0153. And as a special thank you for those listening today, how would you like a free full-color copy of Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom calendar shipped right to your door? Simply email me at ted@thevoiceofreversemortgage.com. Again, TED at thevoiceofreversemortgage.com, chock full of incredible wildlife photos and interesting tidbits about the television show, A Real Collector's Item. And who am I? Well, they call me the voice of reverse mortgage because I've been teaching homeowners just like you about the modern reverse mortgage now for almost 20 years. Prior to that, I was a financial advisor for one of the leading financial services companies in America. That is until I was challenged by my clients to tell them the truth about the modern reverse mortgage, and I couldn't. All I could do was repeat what was common knowledge, the same myths and misconceptions that for some reason still remain today. And something my parents taught me as a young man, they said, Ted, a bad reputation is easy to gain and very difficult to shed. Never did I think I would be taking that advice into my professional career, but I look back and thank my parents for instilling in their 3 boys not only that word of wisdom, but also what integrity looked like on a daily basis, the fact that character is defined by behavior, and that there are always 2 sides to every story. And to my dear, sweet 91-year-old mother, Bonnie, who's listening as she usually does, thank you, Mom. I love you. And when I teach classes to financial professionals or to senior homeowners and their families, I let them know that I stood where many of them now stand today, fairly certain that they know what this thing called a reverse mortgage is, but that word fairly is a mighty wide chasm, one that for me personally, I fell into with most of my peers in the financial planning community. Many of the same misconceptions abound today. And mind you, this is now 34 years after HUD created the modern reverse mortgage. I'm going to suggest you start where I did by going to the website from the entity that created the modern reverse mortgage. Are you ready to write? Please go to www.hud.gov. That's HUD.gov. Surprised you're not being sent to my personal website, as good as I think it is. All you need to know really can be found at the source, HUD.gov. And I'll tell you, what I learned there shook me. What I discovered had such an impact on me that I made a decision to dedicate myself to teaching not only homeowners and their families about this safe, powerful, flexible, and amazing financial tool, but I also teach classes to financial professionals. And I feel blessed to be able to share the facts about this often misunderstood program from the perspective of one who stood where many of you stand right now, thinking you know how this program works, but now being able to take the time to do the diligence to get the facts so you can make an informed decision. So there I was with this new knowledge, replacing my outdated opinions. And I stood convicted. I was totally wrong about how the program worked. And I wasn't alone. Literally everyone I else knew in the financial planning community had the same misinformation. A lot has changed over the last 20 years. A lot of it in the financial planning community itself. FINRA, for instance, the organization that governs CFPs, have done a complete 180 on how they look at using the modern reverse mortgage, and how amazing it is to realize how consistent some of those misconceptions are. Are you ready to write down some facts? Number one, you do not lose your house to the bank or the government, contrary to the most common misconception. You retain title to your home. You remain responsible for property taxes, homeowners insurance, and any HOA fees because you still your own home. The house does not go to the bank or the government at the end. Your heirs will inherit your home when you pass. And the fees and costs for the modern reverse mortgage are the same as the most popular conventional mortgage in America today. And that is a regular FHA mortgage. Why? Because the modern reverse mortgage is an FHA mortgage program. And it's designed to be safe. It's not designed to strip your equity away. In fact, many people end up with as much, if not more, equity in their home 4, 5, 10, 15 years down the road than the day they started. And here's an interesting fact. Literally, about 50% of my loan volume today is helping existing reverse mortgage holders refinance their current reverse mortgages. That's right. You heard me correctly. You can refinance an existing reverse mortgage if there is a tangible benefit for you. Most folks use this program today because it helps make a good situation better. And for me, even though this is a government program, it is not a handout. All HUD has done is create an exclusive program for a select group of homeowners. You have to be at least 62 to participate. That allows you access to something that is already yours, the investment you have in your home, without having to sell the house and move or take on larger monthly mortgage payments. And what I find especially important about this program, it's designed so older Americans can live with greater safety, security, and financial independence. You can take care of yourself on your own terms instead of being dependent on your family or the government. And how refreshing that in today's world, there is a program like this that promotes self-sufficiency and self-reliance instead of yet another government handout or dependence on the state. How almost unheard of today to allow citizens to take care of themselves instead of the government having to take care of them. Ask yourself this: who do you want to take care of you? The government? Family? Do you want to turn your will and your life over to a clerk or worse, some bureaucrat? Well, I think you're going to find that the modern reverse mortgage holds much more to it than what you might guess at first glance. And we're going to take a break here in a moment. But when we come back, I'm going to encourage you to stay tuned because we have two very special guests today. And we are going to be exploring how the modern reverse mortgage, as a sophisticated financial planning tool, can do something so powerful in retirement, create income, real income. So please join me on the other side.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Would you like to live with greater safety, security, and financial independence? For more than 20 years, Ted Butler with Mutual of Omaha Reverse Mortgage has been teaching homeowners and training financial professionals about the modern reverse mortgage. Did you know that with the modern reverse mortgage, you can receive monthly tax-free payments while living in your home until age 150? Get the information you need from a name you know and trust. Mutual of Omaha has been serving our community for over 110 years. And who doesn't remember the iconic television show, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom? The first 10 callers will receive a special 1-hour personal consultation with leading reverse mortgage expert Ted Butler. That's right, your own personal one-on-one with one of the country's top reverse mortgage experts. Call 877-TED, the number 4, reverse today. That's 877-833-4739. Or 877-TED, the number 4, reverse, to schedule your personal one-on-one coaching session. Call Ted now at 877-TED, the number 4, reverse. That's 877-833-4739.
Ted Butler, NMLS 71436, Mutual of Omaha Mortgage, NMLS 1025894, equal housing lender, subject to credit approval.
AM 590, The Answer.
Welcome back. You're listening to Reverse Mortgage Radio, brought to us by the nation's leader in reverse for purchase, Mutual of Omaha Reverse Mortgage. And I'm your host, Ted Butler, the voice of reverse mortgage. You've heard me share with you the fastest growing use of the modern reverse mortgage is to purchase a new home, as you heard last week. This week, we're going to take a look at the modern reverse mortgage from the perspective of somebody, maybe just like you, who could really benefit from extra income in retirement, real income, not just what can be provided as a monthly payment from your reverse mortgage, but income from real property. If you've ever considered living in a condominium or even an apartment, you may want to consider owning your own multiplex property. That's right. With a modern reverse mortgage, you can use this program to purchase not only a home or a condominium, but HUD allows you to purchase a duplex, a triplex, up to a fourplex. That means you can live in your own income-producing property and get paid real income. How many of you are contemplating retirement right now, still with a mortgage in tow, or in a house that simply is too big or costly to maintain? How would you like to turn that negative into a positive? Many folks today are surprised to learn that you can have the best of both worlds, no monthly mortgage payment, and still not have to pay all cash by using the modern reverse for purchase. Now, of course, you still will be responsible for property tax and homeowners insurance and any HOA fees, because remember, with the modern reverse mortgage, you still own your own home, full rights and responsibilities. But today we're going to take this concept a step further. Are you ready? I'd like to introduce you to Rich Keal and Brian Bewley, co-founders of FreeBridge, turning liabilities into assets. And you can find them at their website, www.freebridge.net. Again, find them at www.freebridge.net. Well, welcome, Brian and Rich. And for full disclosure, we are not affiliated with one another, but in a former life, Rich, it was actually you who brought me into the financial advising world once upon a time. I truly thank you for what you taught me then and continue to teach me. Along with you, Brian, and you and I have worked on a number of cases together. Thank you both for joining us today. We have a very interesting concept to share with our listeners. Some may even say mind-blowing, but you would be so kind as to share with us a bit about the principles that led the two of you to found FreeBridge?
FreeBridge was born out of the whole concept, the LEAP concept, if you remember, the Lifetime Economic Acceleration Program, and showing people how to make a dollar work much more efficiently and in a couple of places. And then Brian and I met 12 years ago, and we've been working together almost every day ever since. And anyway, it's been an amazing process to show people how to reduce risk and increase the efficiency of their money.
Oh, it's marvelous. And the reason I'm so excited to have you guys here today is to help give life to the concept of literally turning a liability into an asset, turning negative income into positive income, using the modern reverse mortgage to purchase a multiplex, allowing you to create income in retirement. Income. And yes, you get to live in your own home with no monthly mortgage payment, and you have 1, 2, or 3 units paying you rent every month. While the investment in your property continues to grow, you retain title, full rights and responsibilities of home ownership, meaning you can sell the property at any time, pay the loan off with no prepayment penalty, and if the last one of you should pass before The property will go to your heirs. And remember, you remain responsible for property taxes, homeowners insurance, just as you would normally because you own your own property. And Rich and Brian, let me ask you, how big of a challenge is income in retirement planning today?
Oh, it's a huge issue. Some people, they find themselves in a situation where they have inadequate income in retirement and they've run out of runway in terms of solving that problem. And so if you look at traditional planning, what is the answer? I mean, the answer is, well, you're going to have to live within your means, and we're going to build a financial model or portfolio and determine a sustainable withdrawal rate from that portfolio, and that's what you're going to live on. And with the HECM for purchase, so the reverse mortgage for purchase concept, and using it to acquire up to a 4-unit, it allows you to create income instead of simply spend down a portfolio. And so it really addresses the scenario where the lifestyle that you've come to live or the location in which you live and the cost of living has gone up dramatically. You need creative strategies to generate new income opportunities where in retirement they typically do not exist.
And might I add that the longevity risk, the solution to longevity risk is overcome, which is almost unheard of in a portfolio where you have to ratchet up risk to meet your goals.
And that's quite true. And so when you're working with folks that get to this point in their lives, how are they typically structured? What do you find as far as regular traditional financial plans that you're trying to deal with at this point?
Usually we're finding that people are relying on Social Security and portfolio, and less people are coming to us with traditional pension plans and so on. And so what they're looking at is smaller cost of living adjustments, ones that don't keep up with actual inflation, and then portfolios that, as Rich mentioned just a moment ago, that they're having to take ever more risk in order to meet their objectives for their lifestyle and the income that's required.
Well, we have, I guess we have to call it a non-traditional solution that could be layered on top of or take the place of a lot of these traditional plans. And excited to share with everyone. It was I think the three of us sitting talking one day where this idea really came to life. And so why don't you share with our listeners a bit about what type of impact purchasing a multiplex at this point in their lives, literally trading, let's say, a house that maybe has a mortgage on it, which probably isn't the greatest way to enter retirement, but trading that for a multiplex, how would that look?
When you brought this to me, Ted, it was just it hit me like a lightning bolt, and we've talked about it in the past, but I brought the idea to Brian, and he immediately went and started building a spreadsheet, and he just started tearing into it. And as the numbers unfolded, we've always known it was a good idea, but to put the numbers to it is just mind-boggling. And I'll let Brian take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, from the just the actual numbers and kind of the scenario that you presented to me, Ted, with a homeowner having $445,000 for a down payment, or I guess you would call it is it the initial principal amount in the reverse mortgage space? Is what that amount
correct
is?
Yeah, or down payment is great.
Yeah, or down payment. Yeah, sorry. And so with that, when I compared, and I do a comparative analysis between doing a portfolio only strategy with a standard withdrawal rate starting at, say, 5%, and adjusting that income level every year upwards by 2.5% per year. When I look at what you're able to generate in terms of income off of a traditional model, it amounted to $27,500 in this scenario. And then if you go in and imagine that you acquire a fourplex with a per unit rental rate, you living in one of them, the rental rate being $1,900, the income, and I even put an occupancy rate because I'm I'm pretty particular about being real world about it. The income would be, what is it here? $59,970. That's an increase of $32,470. That's a pretty substantial increase. It's over 100% increase in retirement income. And, that is taking on the role of landlord, okay, but you are on site, you're on premise. So it's a very interesting way to kind of gain substantial leverage with your money without taking on a tremendous amount of risk like you would have to do with the portfolio to achieve anywhere near those kinds of numbers for income distribution off the portfolio. And so, it's just incredibly valuable. And from a use case standpoint, Rich brought something up that I think is really valuable, and that is the long-term care concept. And one of the potential opportunities here is you find more and more that, multiple generations are coming together and living in the same house. I believe, Rich, you referred to them as next-gen homes, where
right.
with the in-law suites. This could also serve a very similar purpose in bringing some of the extended family together and looking at this as a long-term care solution and scenario.
Sure.
where families can live together yet have their privacy and so on. It seemed like a really, really smart use case because you find people are doing this more and more. Oh, and I don't think I left anything out on the HECM for purchase scenario other than to say that ultimately, not only are you increasing the income potential over your lifetime, because of the stability that you bring to the overall strategy, it increases the legacy for heirs quite substantially as well. It's upwards of $700,000 on this particular pattern, fact pattern that we have here.
Because we have to keep in mind that even when you're buying a multiplex, it's the same principles and quadrants that HUD uses for a regular standard HECM that somebody would do on a single family residence. And HUD is, again, very concerned about longevity. And the way they have created their balances, the vast majority of people, even with modest home appreciation, are going to end up with as much, if not more, equity in that property 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road when they're done using it. And so it's like a double, triple bonus. And I think that really kind of gives our listeners insight into who your company FreeBridge is and what it is that you focus on. Guys, I just want to say there's never enough time when we get together to talk. Can you make one promise to me? Will you come back? And can we continue this conversation? I truly appreciate your insight today and your time.
Absolutely.
And as a special thank you for those listening today, FreeBridge will be able to prepare for you a comprehensive review of just what this scenario of creating income in retirement by purchasing a multiplex with a reverse mortgage would look like. So email me or call. Again, ted@thevoiceofreversemortgage.com or 951-363-0153 and just say, Ted, please send me the FreeBridge report. Quite a show today, wouldn't you agree? We'd love to hear from you, so please give us a call. Again, our number 951-363-0153. And in parting, you know how I hate to say goodbye, so see you next week.
Ted Butler, NMLS 71436, Mutual of Omaha Mortgage, NMLS 1025894, Equal Housing Lender, subject to credit approval.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Would you like to live with greater safety, security, and financial independence? For more than 20 years, Ted Butler with Mutual of Omaha Reverse Mortgage has been teaching homeowners and training financial professionals about the modern reverse mortgage. Did you know that with the modern reverse mortgage, you can receive monthly tax-free payments while living in your home until age 150? Get the information you need from a name you know and trust. Mutual of Omaha has been serving our community for over 110 years. And who doesn't remember the iconic television show, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom? The first 10 callers will receive a special 1-hour personal consultation with leading reverse mortgage expert Ted Butler. That's right, your own personal one-on-one with one of the country's top reverse mortgage experts. Call 877-TED, the number 4, reverse today. That's 877-833-4739. Or 877-TED, the number 4, reverse to schedule your personal one-on-one coaching session. Call Ted now at 877-TED, the number 4, reverse. That's 877-833-4739.
Ted Butler, NMLS 71436, Mutual of Omaha Mortgage, NMLS 10258994, equal housing lender, subject to credit approval.